What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Dan Hooker is gearing up for his first fight of 2025, and fans are in for a treat. The New Zealand lightweight is set to take on rising contender Arman Tsarukyan in the main event of UFC Qatar, scheduled for November 22nd. This bout marks Hooker's long-awaited return to the octagon since his split decision victory over Mateusz Gamrot back in August 2024. Originally, Hooker was expected to face Justin Gaethje earlier this year in what fans anticipated to be a thrilling matchup. However, a broken hand sidelined him for months, forcing him to refocus his training and adjust his strategy. Now, as fight night approaches, Hooker promises that his time away has made him even more dangerous. In a recent interview with Heavyweight MMA, Hooker discussed how the injury allowed him to develop new tools and refine his overall skill set. "I think everything will just be flying," he said confidently. "I'm feeling pretty dangerous at the moment. I can't wait to take the pads off and start firing some knees and elbows down range, brother. I've been working on a lot of different things, mixing in new techniques and getting more comfortable with all my weapons." Hooker also revealed that his left hook, one of his most powerful strikes, was out of commission for months, which forced him to strengthen other parts of his game. "My left hook was my powerhouse, and since it was out of action, I spent a lot of time developing other attacks. Now I've got a bunch of new ways to crack people, and I'm excited to show that off." The matchup itself presents an intriguing stylistic clash. Tsarukyan, known for his relentless wrestling and explosive takedowns, will be looking to drag Hooker into deep waters. But Hooker's striking, especially with his sharpened knees and elbows, could be a major equalizer. Analysts expect Hooker to use his reach and timing to counter Tsarukyan's forward pressure and capitalize on any opening. Meanwhile, Tsarukyan seems to be in top form leading into fight week. Recent footage shows the lightweight contender enjoying his final preparations in Qatar, appearing relaxed, focused, and confident. Fans can expect fireworks when these two meet inside the octagon, as both men have something to prove. Hooker aims to re-establish himself as a legitimate contender, while Tsarukyan looks to solidify his place among the lightweight elite. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev recently opened up about the possibility of moving back down to lightweight to face Ilia Topuria, a matchup that fans have been buzzing about for months. While Makhachev has officially stepped into the welterweight division to chase a second UFC title, speculation continues about whether he might eventually return to 155 pounds for a blockbuster fight with the reigning featherweight and newly crowned lightweight star, Ilia Topuria. Currently, Makhachev is focused on his welterweight debut at UFC 322 on November 15th, where he's scheduled to face current champion Jack Della Maddalena. Earlier this year, Islam vacated his lightweight title to pursue the challenge of becoming a two-division champion, a bold move that marked the next chapter of his dominant career. Before his transition, fans and analysts constantly debated when, or if, the UFC would book Makhachev versus Topuria, a clash that many consider a dream fight. Even after moving to 170, Makhachev hinted that he might one day return to reclaim his lightweight crown. However, in a recent interview with Match TV, he made it clear that his focus has shifted. When asked whether he would consider dropping back to lightweight to face Topuria, Makhachev admitted, "It would be nice. The fans are interested and so am I. It's the fight everyone is talking about." Yet, when pressed further about whether the matchup excites him personally or if it's purely fan-driven, Islam was blunt. "How could it be interesting to me? What do I gain by going back down to 155 and beating Topuria? Win the belt again. I already had it. The fans want it, not me. I'm not interested in cutting weight to 155 and torturing myself again. I'm focused on 100. These comments suggest that Makhachev has little intention of returning to lightweight anytime soon. However, the story may not be over. Topuria himself has expressed interest in moving up to welterweight, potentially setting the stage for a future super fight without either man compromising their natural size or strength. During the same interview, Makhachev was also asked a more playful question. If he were in a street brawl, which three fighters would he want on his side? Interestingly, his list included Khabib, Daniel Cormier, and Cain Velasquez, all legendary names from his close circle. Move on to another news. Charles Oliveira has officially responded to Max Holloway's recent allegations, addressing the controversy surrounding their previous fight. Just days ago, Holloway claimed that Oliveira's reported injury during their bout was exaggerated, stating that doctors found no serious damage after the match and that Charles was cleared shortly after being examined. Holloway's comments stirred debate within the MMA community, with some fans questioning whether Oliveira's injury was legitimate or simply an excuse for his performance. Now, Oliveira has fired back, maintaining that his injury was very real and that everyone involved in the fight was aware of it. Speaking in a recent interview, Charles made it clear that while he respects Max Holloway deeply, he stands by the facts of what happened that night. "Max is a guy I respect a lot," Oliveira said. "Based on my last fight with him, everyone knows I had an injury. He says I didn't, but I did have one. It would certainly be a good reunion." Oliveira's calm and respectful response reflects his maturity as a fighter and veteran of the sport. Rather than engaging in trash talk or escalating tensions, he emphasized respect while subtly reminding fans that fighters often go through injuries that may not always be visible or fully understood by the public. The former lightweight champion also hinted that he's open to a rematch with Holloway, suggesting that it would be a thrilling contest for fans and an opportunity to settle any lingering questions once and for all. "It would be a good reunion," he repeated, a statement that many fans took as a clear challenge to Holloway. The potential rematch between the two would be fascinating. Holloway, known for his relentless pace and striking precision, remains one of the most dangerous featherweights in the world, while Oliveira's submission prowess and evolving striking make him a formidable opponent in any division. With both men holding legendary resumes and having grown as fighters since their first meeting, the fight could easily headline a major pay-per-view event. For now, Oliveira appears focused, confident, and ready to silence any doubts about his toughness and credibility. His response not only restores his reputation in the eyes of many fans, but also adds fuel to the growing speculation about a Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway 2 showdown, a matchup that could once again captivate the MMA world. Move on to another news. Charles Oliveira has opened up about his recent loss to Ilia Topuria, candidly admitting that a key tactical error cost him the fight. The former UFC lightweight champion reflected on the matchup, explaining that he failed to stick to his game plan and made a critical mistake by engaging Topuria in close range instead of maintaining distance, a decision he now deeply regrets. During a recent interview, Oliveira was asked about a moment in the fight when he landed a sharp elbow on Topuria, but the Spanish-Georgian powerhouse didn't go down. Laughing at himself, Charles admitted, "Because I was stupid. The guy is shorter than me and a boxer. What should I have done? I should have stayed on the outside, kicked him, and made him come forward." Oliveira went on to explain that his initial plan was to keep the fight at range, use his kicks to control distance, and wait for the right moment to shoot for a takedown. But in the heat of the moment, his instincts led him astray. "I was supposed to stay long, frustrate him, and then take him down," he continued. "But what was I thinking? I decided to stand in front of him, exchange punches, and put my hands on him. I did throw, but he landed first. I was stupid. It happens. It's part of fighting." Despite the disappointment, Oliveira's comments reveal a mature and composed outlook. Rather than making excuses or blaming circumstances, he took full responsibility for his performance, acknowledging that mental lapses happen even to elite fighters. "It's all in your mind," he said. "You have to come back again. That's what happened. We come back stronger." Oliveira's humility and honesty struck a chord with fans, reminding everyone why he's one of the sport's most respected figures. His ability to admit mistakes publicly and use them as fuel for growth has long defined his career. After all, Oliveira's journey has been one of reinvention, from a submission specialist early in his UFC tenure to a complete mixed martial artist capable of standing toe-to-toe with anyone in the world. The defeat to Topuria may have been a setback, but for Dio Bronx, it's another lesson in an already storied career. His focus now appears to be on recovery, reflection, and redemption. Oliveira's acknowledgement of his missteps suggests he's already analyzing how to evolve for the next challenge, one where he vows not to repeat the same mistakes. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall is once again under fire from fans and fighters who claim he made the UFC heavyweight division look weak after his controversial fight with Cyril Gane at UFC 321. The bout ended abruptly when Gane accidentally poked Aspinall in the eye, leading doctors to stop the fight. While some defended the decision as a safety precaution, others argue Aspinall should have continued, saying champions are expected to push through adversity. Recently, rising heavyweight Walter Walkerain added his voice to the criticism during an interview with James Lynch. Walker claimed Aspinall's reaction damaged the reputation of heavyweight fighters, saying, "He made the heavyweights look bad because we're big, strong guys. Modern-day gladiators, he got poked in the eye once, was given 5 minutes to recover, and still pulled out of the fight." Walker compared Aspinall's situation to his own at UFC 321, where he broke his leg in mid-fight against Lewis Sutherland, but continued competing and won via heel hook, his fourth consecutive win using the same technique. "I broke my leg. I felt something was wrong, but I kept fighting to the finish. I gave my best because I know I work for the UFC. If something happens, they'll pay for the surgery and take care of me," he explained. "I'm not scared inside the cage. Then you have this guy who got poked in the eye and stopped fighting." The situation has reignited heated debate about GI pokes and how they're handled in MMA. Many fans are frustrated with major fights being ruined by accidental fouls. Veteran referee Herb Dean recently shared his frustration in an interview with Helen Yee, confirming that the UFC and athletic commissions are discussing possible rule changes. "We have to try something," Dean said. "There's going to be a meeting soon to go over ideas. Maybe automatic point deductions for eye pokes or other fouls. Something has to change." Dean went on to reveal a concerning truth. Some fighters have admitted to intentionally committing fouls after retiring. "You can't read people's minds," he said. "Some fighters are genuinely good and don't mean to foul, but others have told me after retiring that every groin kick or foul they did was intentional. They just hit it well at the time." Move on to another news. Delija, a close teammate of Tom Aspinall, suffered a shocking loss in his latest bout, one that ended in an unexpected and ironic twist. Heading into fight week, Delija had made headlines for criticizing the recent eye poke controversy involving Aspinall's opponent. He confidently stated, "I've had 33 professional fights and have never poked anyone in the eye. I believe there should be serious punishment for those who do. However, fate had other plans." During his fight against Waldo Cortez Acosta, Delija started strong, landing several clean punches that forced the referee to step in momentarily. Believing he had secured a finish, Delija raised his arms in celebration, but the moment quickly turned chaotic. Doctors were called into the octagon, and upon review, it was revealed that Cortez Acosta had been poked in the eye during the exchange. Despite the injury, Cortez Acosta chose to continue after being cleared by medical staff. When the fight resumed, Delija appeared slightly unfocused, perhaps thinking the match had already been decided in his favor. That lapse proved costly. Just seconds into the restart, Cortez Acosta unleashed a powerful combination that caught Delija clean, knocking him out cold and ending the bout in dramatic fashion. The irony of the situation wasn't lost on fans and analysts. After speaking out against eye pokes and emphasizing fighter responsibility, Delija found himself in the same controversy, only to be on the losing end. The MMA community quickly reacted across social media, calling the incident a twist of karma and one of the most bizarre moments of the week. This incident has reignited conversations about stricter penalties for eye pokes and clearer officiating protocols. With multiple fights in recent months affected by similar issues, including Tom Aspinall's controversial bout at UFC 321, fighters and fans alike are urging commissions to introduce immediate point deductions or other reforms to protect fighters and preserve the integrity of competition. For Delija, it was a tough lesson in unpredictability inside the cage, where, as this night proved, 1 second can turn triumph into disaster. Move on to another news. UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira has finally shared his thoughts on the controversial eye poke incident involving Tom Aspinall, and his reaction was surprisingly balanced and thoughtful. Addressing the situation, Pereira acknowledged the ongoing debate but reminded fans that no one can truly understand what a fighter feels in such a critical moment. Speaking to the media, Alex said, "We've seen worse incidents in the past where fighters continued, but ultimately, nobody really knows how Tom felt in that moment. You can't know exactly what happened, only he knows." Pereira emphasized that while many fans were quick to judge, Aspinall's reaction. The reality is that every injury is different, and pain tolerance varies from one fighter to another. He continued, "Yes, it's true, Tom wasn't doing great in the fight at that point, but we've also seen situations where a fighter struggles early, then something happens, maybe a foul, a reset, and they come back stronger. That's the fight game." Pereira went on to defend Aspinall from those accusing him of exaggerating the injury, saying, "Some people are saying he was faking it, but honestly, you can't say that. It's hard to understand from the outside. It's hard to understand. But honestly, you can't say that. It's hard to..." Pereira's comments come as the MMA world continues to debate whether the UFC interim heavyweight champion made the right decision to stop fighting after the eye poke from Cyril Gane at UFC 321. Many fighters and fans have voiced contrasting opinions, some arguing that Aspinall should have continued, others supporting his decision to prioritize his health. Alex, known for his calm and composed demeanor, made it clear that it's unfair to speculate on a fighter's physical state from outside the cage. People watching from home can't feel what the fighter feels. We've seen worse eye pokes, sure, but that doesn't mean Tom was fine. Only he knows what he saw, what he felt, and whether he could continue, he concluded. His balanced take serves as a reminder that in a sport as unpredictable and dangerous as mixed martial arts, snap judgments can overlook the human element behind every fighter's decision.